Before we focus on the Premier Division of the Absa Currie Cup, let's first talk about why tomorrow Welkom will become the centre of the rugbyverse. And that's because the First Division final will be contested there. And to help us talk through the clutter, two former Springboks in Hanyani Shimange and AJ Venter. Welkom.
Thank you.
AJ, welcome. It's a big match in Welkom next tomorrow night. Down Touch Griffins against the Falke. And you've got two teams that managed to beat the other over the course of the season. And yes, there is home ground advantage, but it's a final.
Look, first things first, it's not a nice thing to play in Welkom, let's be honest. It's a tough one, so yeah. It's going to be...
Or in Brakpan, by the way.
Or Brakpan, yeah. So it's going to be a toughie. But yeah, it's quite exciting to see what's going to happen in that game.
You know what I like about the First Division is that it's not just a competition in name, Shimi. The winner walks away with 1.05 million rand. The runner-up walks away with 527,000 rand. There's a lot to play for.
No, definitely. Maybe they can get some irrigation systems for their fields and make it a bit softer, less tougher there. But look, it's good to see. I think for those unions, ideally they want to play Currie Cup. So for them, it's an opportunity or window of opportunity to get up to the top league and generally get a couple of guys in the bigger unions or guys looking for opportunities. You might see one or two gems there that might come in there. But I think for the towns there, you know, you look at the heydays of rugby in Welkom, AJ, always a big town, always good rugby. So for them, they'll be happy to have a final there and hopefully, you know, it's a good event.
Well, talking about the Griffins, they managed to overcome SWD, SV Deer, the Eagles in the semi-finals, and it really was a last-minute penalty, a hard-fought encounter in this one. While we're focusing on the Griffins, it was back in July that they managed to beat the Falke in Welkom 29-20. Coaches will always tell you, AJ, that history bears absolutely nothing on what's going to happen in the next rugby match.
Absolutely. And also, you mentioned something right now that kind of triggered something with me. Having a look at the Pumas playing so well in the Currie Cup. These guys, it must be that little bit of guts to and will to want to end up in the Currie Cup like we've just seen. So they must be really exciting to play hard and do well for next season.
Yeah, and AJ, you look at that game, there's no crowd there. Let's be honest, you know, there's no one watching that game.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully tomorrow you get a packed stadium with a good crowd, 10, 15,000 people. Yeah. And that's why I talk about the event. You know, you need to revive rugby there. Guys start playing club rugby. You generate a game, you generate a good union. From then on, you know, they could feed Super Rugby teams.
Yeah. Well, it's a 3:30 kickoff, which does mean that a lot of people will still be coming through from work. Given that this is the biggest match that's going to take place in Welkom, possibly in the next year, would it have been better to maybe move it to 5, get people away from school and work?
Yeah, look, I know in Cape Town, no one works on a Friday past 2 o'clock. So
I was just going to say, back in Durban, they have to play golf. They have to start playing golf.
I don't know, maybe the rules are different in Welkom. So it's an excuse for the companies there, for the people, the families, just to go out there and support their team. They got to get a good crowd. The Pumas is a good story, AJ. I think a good success story. Griquas have taken a bit of a dip, sadly. Maybe, you know, it's time for the Welkom boys to make a run for it.
Yeah, talking about those Welkom boys, only lost one home game this season. The Falke, on the other hand, have managed to beat all of the top sides, including this team, which topped the log, the Leopards, in the semi-final. And a lot of people really would have thought, AJ, especially with the likes of Andre Pretorius there, that the Leopards are going to be no easy beats. So you've got to take your hands off to the Falke.
Yeah, and good to see Andre Pretorius still playing. You know, he's I'm not sure how old Andre is now, but it's good to see him still out there.
You.
But he's still playing very good rugby, and you know, that kind of guy. Leadership is so important in those teams. So I think Andre is really forms a big part of their leadership in the team.
They've also, Shimi, the Falke won 4 of their last 5 matches. 2 of them were away games, so they really have hit their straps in the latter part of the season. It's all really shaping up to be an awesome final.
No, definitely. If I'm not mistaken, Rudy Hubert coaches the Falke team, and he's been there. I think he's been involved with the Boks. You know, when the Boks started, the Bulls started winning on tour again, he was part of that revival. So he's got an experienced coach. They've got an experienced coach there. And all I know from his days at Boland, he enjoys the running game and a game that, you know, involves building pressure with the ball. So, which bodes for one thing, you know, conditions there, I can almost guarantee it, it's not going to be raining in Welkom. So we should see a lot of tries, a good running game, probably on a nice dry track. So you've got two, you know, you've got experienced coaches, you've got the home ground advantage of the, you know, the Griffins team. So it should be a good experience. And obviously the Falke, having one away from home, will be pretty pumped for it.